Hello and welcome to the 100 Day Art Challenge. This video is number 80 of 100. And the reason I'm starting the video with this footage, I did this yesterday, I think it was in a recent video, and it's to show you what my setup is like. And similar to the recent video, in fact it was yesterday's upload, where I'm trying to show you where things go awry with this setup that I have. And you can see the camera, the ring light there just above me, and in front of me is a computer monitor with a white screen. So the light is coming from both directions and it mutes the shadows. Today I'm working on brown paper, as you can see. And you can see that the shadows are there, but they're very soft shadows coming from my arm. So they're not really strong in obscuring what you're seeing on the surface. That's why I have this setup. And I like it because the camera is almost looking straight down. If I could have it looking straight down, I would, but the way that the space is set up, I can't do that. But what I'm trying to show you is that with the best of intentions, I don't measure this very well. And there's also an approach to soft pastels which I'm not taking with any of the submissions that I've been uploading for this challenge, which is to be very careful and considerate of where I apply any tone, and to use the tone of the paper as a mid-tone that I utilise to develop a likeness from the reference. But instead what I'm doing is I'm just using the paper as a mid-tone surface to make my drawing on. It doesn't really make a difference. It may as well be on white paper because I'm just adding colour to it, which is already tonally darker than white. And what some of these marks are, this is darker than the colour of the paper, but then when I start to develop the skin tone for the reference, that will be tonally equivalent with the paper. That's what I'm saying is something which I didn't used to do with soft pastels, and I've started doing. I think it's for speed, which is a little bit lazy, but some of this which I'm adding to the hair is going to be the same tonal value as the paper. So that's where I should really do this differently. But I'm also letting the hair drift higher up than it should do. And I don't know how visible it is at the moment, but at some point I stand up from my position and have a look at the proportions, and I notice that the hair is just creeping up too high and it's not even close to being accurate to my reference. As much as I don't really mind the reference not being exactly adhered to, I still want to use it as a guide, and if I'm completely off, then it doesn't seem to be a realistic guide. This is what I mean about the development of the face as well. When I do this, as much as I like some of the overall effect that it has of the skin, I'm not utilising the tone of the paper like I could for this portrait, which would be the best way to do it. I am, however, trying to blend in and smooth out some of the marks, which part of my preference is to do it dry. So that's where the hair should have ended. So that's me correcting how high up it is, and you can see that I've stood up and I'm off to the right a little bit there. And I've tried to draw an outline around the edge of his face, but I've slightly cut into places which I shouldn't have. So I have to correct that later as well. And then when I try to cut in with the black around his face, it's just not adding anything. I think it would have been better if I would have left this piece just with that outline drawing instead of shading in. But this is the problem. I need to learn from mistakes like this. This I don't think is adding anything to do this black kind of shaded bubble around this character. It's a shame. It could have been better the way it was before. And that's why I used for my thumbnail the stage which I thought was nice for this piece. But I keep trying to push to develop what I have, because I do think that there is places to go with this piece to develop some of the textures, some of the observations, and just some of the aspects of the reference material that I think is showing some of the just pleasant parts of his character. So this is me finishing off and trying to clean up this edge here, and I had a bit of red and I had a bit of white, and it's blended out some of that sharp cut into his cheek, and I'm just trying to add little touches here and there of white to give some tonal strength to certain areas that were a little bit too kind of flat, I suppose. So around the ear and even the back of the neck, there is light hitting on the reference photo, so that's what I'm trying to show. I would show the reference photo, but because this is a farmer, a young farmer, who I captured on the camera without his knowledge at a cattle market, I don't feel comfortable sharing the reference. That's the picture that I got from it. I quite liked the piece. This is what I did. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.